Three, two, one. Hello, I'm Jacqueline Whitmore, and welcome to my Facebook Live show. It's so good to see all of you, and happy Wednesday. I am so excited about my next guest, and I have to say, I love marketing, but this woman is truly an expert in rebranding, reinventing, and marketing herself. And I think it's the perfect time because we are all going through a transition right now. And we're going to learn so much from my guest. Her name is Delby Bragais. And in just a second, I'll bring her on and show her in our stream here. Let me turn on our camera. And here she comes. Hello, Delby.
Hello. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, everybody.
Delby is coming to us all the way from the Philippines.
Mabuhay!
Yes, yes.
Say.
You know, I loved visiting you when I was in the Philippines. I think it was about 4 years ago, but you and I have known each other a lot longer than 4 years. Do you remember when we met?
Yes, I remember. That was still in the beginning of my journey in getting all of these certifications from AICI. And I would attend your very informative and inspiring etiquette sessions during conference, and it really helped me a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, and for our viewers who don't know what AICI is, it's the Association of Image Consultants International. And I don't profess to be an image consultant. I'm truly an etiquette expert. But Delby, you are are you a master, a certified image master?
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm a certified image master.
That is the highest level that you can receive in AICI. And I applaud you because that is so much work.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope I make an impact to the profession and the industry.
You already have. And for those who don't know Delby, she is also a very talented fashion designer in the Philippines, and she makes some gorgeous fashions, which we'll show a little later in the broadcast. But Delby, can you just tell our followers where you grew up and a little bit about your background?
Okay, so hi everybody, I'm Delby Bragais, and I grew up from the beautiful islands of the Philippines. So we have fabulous white sand beaches, palm trees, and really happy people. The Philippines is a developing country, and I would like to see it in a better place during my lifetime, but I'm very optimistic. So I've also had the privilege of meeting a lot of people from different walks of life and different backgrounds from different cultures. So I think that makes for a really great background when you enter the field of image consulting, you know, a little bit more of East and West kind of marriage. So, yep.
And Delby, whenever people see you speak, I mean, you're a very dramatic person. You are so high on life, and your enthusiasm is contagious. And I just love to see you speak and share your knowledge. And I want everybody to feel that energy, and I think that we're getting it. So how do you make the transition from a little girl who grows up on this island to this now big name fashion designer? Your fashions are worn by some of the most prominent people not only in the Philippines, but in the world, celebrities and dignitaries and VIPs. And I mean, how does one go from your beginnings to that stage in life?
I think it all boils down to belief. If you believe in yourself and beyond yourself, if you believe in a higher being, whatever you call him, her, divine light, etc. I think it stems from belief internally and externally, and an open mindset that anything is possible. Anything is possible. So for me, that's always been it. And I remember when I had the opportunity to show in Gotham Hall in New York City with the help of some of our image consulting friends, Cindy Ann Peterson and Catherine Schuller. Of course, there's Richard Brenda. Hello, hello. We had a hope and dream party, when I had a presentation, and the motto was like, with hope, dreams do come true. And until now, I believe that. But that doesn't mean you don't do any work. You have to work for it.
Well, that's just it. And so the things that I am hearing you say are all the things that I believe in. Number one, you surround yourself with other talented people. Oftentimes we have to surround ourselves with people who are more talented than we are. And with any luck, that talent will rub off, which it has in your case. And number two, you talk very much about a belief system, a foundation that you have. And I think that's really, really important to have a firm foundation, regardless of what your belief is, whether you call it God or the universe or Buddha or whoever. There is a source out there, and you draw from that source, and you allow that source to bring out your creativity. And that's also something that you've done. And number three, you have a very open mind. And you mentioned a couple of times that you've been all over the world, one being New York City. And I've seen you a couple of times, not only in the Philippines, but also here in the United States. And you are so open-minded to other cultures and to other beliefs and to people. You truly embrace people. And I think that is part of your success.
Well, actually, there's a hashtag I sometimes use in some of my posts, and the hashtag is Stronger Together. And that touches on community, the power of even a small group of people, even a small group of women, to make dreams come true for others, for themselves, and for others. So I'm a strong believer of that. Strong believer of Stronger Together.
Right. And that's collaboration and cooperation. And so very important. So, we're all going through a pivot right now. We're all going through this time, this change. And I was saying to a friend of mine yesterday, I was on a webinar, I said, for the first time in our industry, everyone is on the same level. You may have more knowledge in image. I may have more knowledge in etiquette, but basically on a business level, we're all at the same place and at the same time. And that's unheard of. This is the first time in history. And you have taken this opportunity to reflect and to sit back and to look at your business with new eyes. And I'm really excited for you to share with our group today how we can go about reinventing ourselves during this global crisis.
That's true. We're all in the same boat. We all got hit. If you are in business, you're an entrepreneur, all of a sudden, there's no sales, the stores are closed. Suddenly, if you're an employee, you find yourself jobless, etc. So I know this sounds counterintuitive, and at the end of the day, I would say first of all, check your runway. Like in fashion, there's the runway where models show off their clothes, etc., and sell. Bottom line. But for some people, they have a shorter runway. So if you have to pay the bills and you have to make money at once, of course, you might have to take in some kinds of jobs that might not be actually what you are hoping for or what you want to do. But for people with medium-sized or longer runways, then I think this is the perfect time to really reinvent yourself and consequently rebrand, because right now there's a dash towards digital and a lot of people are now online. There's a lot of work from home situations. There's a lot of digital presence requirements, etc. And it's a great time to either, number one, do things that you've always wanted to do, and we're so busy working in your business that you weren't working on your business. So do the things you always wanted to do, or if you're really pressed to raise the money to feed your family, then now might be a time to exercise those creative juices and get the courage up, because reinvention takes, number one, courage. Usually you're treading on uncharted waters. It's something that you weren't doing before and now you're doing. So it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of vision for you to be able to see where you want to go. And there's execution. You have to execute. So those are the foundational pieces of executing a successful reinvention. But you see, Jacqueline, I have a very, very easy to remember acronym for reinvention, and that is GIFTS. GIFTS. You, my friend, you give fabulous gifts, because I have seen some of your gifts on your Instagram posts, right? I've seen them. So you will remember this. First is G, the letter G. It's really to go inward. To go inward, reflect on what are my strengths,
Okay.
where do my passions lie, and what can I contribute to the world? What can I give? So those are things that, if they're clear to you, including the very important question, what makes me different from the others? If you have clarity in those things and you can answer them, then that is a great place to start with. So G is for going within, making sure that there's a target audience that I would love to serve, knowing my strengths and my weaknesses. So that's for G. I is going into the future. What is the perfect future for me, and where do I want to go? What is the destination? So if you're looking at me now, this one is in the future. What business do I want? How do I see this business? How will I make money from this? How will I prosper? So, and then there's F. The F is formulate the strategy, or formulate the plan if you want it simple. Formulate the plan, and how am I going to go from this point to that point, A to B? How will I get the business, or the job, or the reinvention that I want? Because some people, they want to stay where they are, but a better version. Let's say you are a financial consultant right now. You might want to be a financial consultant, but of a higher caliber. Somebody who makes more money. That's an example. Of course, there are different types of pivots. There are pivots that want for people that want to go to another industry or totally reinvent themselves. Then there's letter T. So T is for taking action, because a lot of people, I notice, they have the strategy, they have the dreams, the plans, etc. They know where they want to go. The problem is they keep on taking courses and then courses and then courses, but they're not executing. So I had the privilege, Jacqueline, to speak at the U.S. Southeast Regional Conference recently. This was just last week. And I shared with them one technique that I learned from one of my mentors. His name's Evan Pagan. And it's basically to throw your hat over the fence. So if you want to do something, how are you going to go across to the other side of a fence?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, but if you want to make sure that you're going to go across, then you throw your hat over the fence. So that's basically either making a commitment or making a public announcement that I'm going to do this. I'm going to be offering online courses and opening an online school within 2020 for personal and professional development. So that's a very straightforward public announcement. So it's like you have no choice. You gotta do it, girl. You know what I'm saying? And okay, the last one is S. So gifts. So the S is basically sharing your brand, because at the end of the day, we were talking about this before we went on air, and it's really, you have to rebrand. So that's talking about the personal brand and increasing visibility, credibility, so that you can assure profitability in the end. So branding is a long-term process. It doesn't happen overnight. So there's this really interesting quote that I read on LinkedIn recently that says, oh, that was like, it took 10 years to be an overnight success.
I think it's taken me 20 years to become an overnight success.
But boy, what a success you are.
Oh, well, thank you. You know, one of the things that I admire about you, Delby, is that you are a lifelong learner. You are always reading. You are always speaking. You are always gathering information. You literally soak up knowledge every single day, and you try to learn at least one thing every single day.
True.
And I've noticed that about you. And go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Jacqueline, that the best way to learn is to teach it.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm teaching etiquette, because I need the most help. I made every mistake in the book.
Same here, but we learn.
We do learn. You know, before you came on camera, you and I had a little conversation, and we are both in the process of rebranding ourselves. And like you, I took this quiet time to reflect and ask myself, what are the things that I've always wanted to do? And I have wanted to do video for 10 years. 10 years. I'm a broadcasting major. I went to school to be on television, and I never pursued that ambition. I ended up going into public relations and marketing. And this broadcast, this Facebook Live show that I do almost weekly, came out of the need to do videos, or the desire to do videos, and I have now hired someone to help me do etiquette videos.
Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. That's reinvention.
It is, and not, I don't see necessarily any financial gain coming out of that, but what I am applying your principles to is that it's all about visibility. And when people see you, and there's a perception that you're growing and you're working and you're busy and you're reinventing yourself, then I believe that you stay in the forefront of people's minds. So what you're doing with your business is the same thing. You're working on staying in the spotlight. You're not crawling in a hole somewhere feeling sorry for yourself.
Well, yes, because at this point in time, like you are saying, you don't see any financial gain. So for me, that is true at this point in time. However, remember what I said. This is a long-term process. I mean, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. So for now, yes, this might not be something that helps you monetize your talents and your skill set, but with the increased visibility comes opportunity. So visibility leads to opportunity. So here we go, plus the credibility that happens because now they hear you speak, they hear more about where you're going and that you are being relevant at this time. So definitely the profit and the prosperity will follow.
That is
For
so
sure.
true. You just hit the nail on the head, being relevant. And the fact that you're taking your courses online and you're now going to be offering a university, so to speak. And your website, by the way, I've been showing it on the screen, is Reinvent You. You.
So remember we were talking before we went live and we're both rebranding right now. And this Reinvent You, actually, it might be counterintuitive for somebody who is in the process of reinventing, who is on a journey to talk about a website that is a work of art in progress. So this is something in progress. So normally you wouldn't talk about it, you wouldn't put it out there, etc. But I'm thinking, hey, if somebody wants to give a comment, a thoughtful comment, etc., I would welcome that. Of course, the website will be offering tips and offering things for free that I could help other people with. So I think it's a good way to slowly open ourselves up to the new brand that we want to do. So in my case, I've always dreamt that I wanted to put up a particular kind of school. And now, well, with the pandemic, being at home, and honestly, the boutique has been closed for almost half a year. We haven't had a single centavo of earnings or cash flow from the boutique. And since I specialize in special occasion dressings, wedding gowns, and gowns for balls or awarding ceremonies, or even we do have an executive wear line, but nobody's ordering right now. So the boutique has been closed. So really, I needed to execute a pivot. I needed to reinvent. And this is the way, putting up an online learning platform where there would be courses for personal and professional development available.
Well, let's stay on that topic for just a minute, because a lot of our viewers are in the image industry and they're seeing a financial loss in their business. As you said, you have a boutique. No one is shopping right now, or if they are, they're shopping online, or they're not spending as much money as they might have spent last year. Maybe they're saving and waiting to see when the pandemic dissipates. So how can we as image experts pivot and still work with the public? You did mention virtual courses, but is it the same to work one-on-one with someone? I mean, a lot of what you do is you have to touch and you have to feel and you have to experience, because you're very creative, very artistic. But now when there's a camera in front of you, can you be as effective virtually?
Okay, let me answer that question by sharing with you the evaluation of a group of women, mostly from the east side of your country, the United States. And I was actually moved to tears when I was reading the evaluation forms, because it was so it was so touching to receive honestly accolades from people who were on the other side of the world running a virtual program. So I was invited to run a program on business lessons from the world's top fashion designers. And the focus was more of growing your business during challenging times. So I have to say, yes, Jacqueline, without a shadow of a doubt, it is possible to conduct virtual courses, it depends on how it's conducted, the degree of interaction that you can integrate with the class, of course, and also I believe in cameras on, and also in having a lot of things for the participants to do, questions to answer. So it was a very interactive class. So yes, it is possible to move to digital, and that's what I would really encourage most image consultants to do. And right now, there's a lot of demand for digital presence. Whether you're talking about professional digital presence or expressing leadership in remote mode, or actually even the basic image professional image development courses. I just got a call this morning. Professional image development, social media etiquette, etc. Social media etiquette, my friend.
Social
That's
media
one.
etiquette.
Yes,
Okay.
I mean, because right now, some people, especially if they don't have the training, they could be a little bit not very sure and start posting things that are not going to redound to a great impression of the corporation that they represent, right? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It doesn't make them a great brand ambassador. So, and so there is a lot of opportunity, my image consultant friends, just take a cup of coffee, chill, and look back, see that there's now is a great time. In this time of crisis, they say in there's a Chinese proverb that crisis and opportunity are actually the same character. Or so what I'm saying is we have a lot of opportunity right now in the midst of crisis.
Absolutely. And I can't let you go without showing our viewers some beautiful designs that you have created. And so I'm going to show a couple of them on screen, and maybe you can just tell our followers a little bit about the design. So here is the first one.
Oh, that is a strapless wedding gown that is made out of lace on top, on the bodice, and cabbage roses with I believe that's a cathedral train. And so it's ecru in color, and it has embellishments of some crystals on the bodice.
It's absolutely gorgeous. How many hours did it take you to make that, or days, or months, or years?
I can't count.
Okay, and then I'm going to show the second creation.
Oh, okay. So that's a silk outfit. Actually, that has two two pieces. One is sort of like a tunic type inspired outfit with a stand-up collar, and it is embellished with. It has lace work that was attached by hand, and on top of the lace work, it has some cut glass and flat beads and a little bit of some Swarovski crystals scattered all over the tunic. And again, it has a little bit of a train, like a chapel one. And inside, it has a fully beaded, simple mermaid gown. So, yep, it's in a blush color.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
it's been so much fun, Delby, talking to you and sharing with you today. And oh, I'm just so excited for the new reinvention of Delby Bragais.
Thank you for having me, Jacqueline. So here's to our reinvention and the reinvention of everybody watching.
I totally agree. And if anyone wants to get in touch with Delby, she has a website, Reinvent
You.
dot net.
Yes. So it's reinventyou.net, and feel free to drop by. Oh, and by the way, if anybody's interested to talk about like assess your personal brand, then feel free to pick up the free. I developed a free personal branding self-assessment kit for you. So feel free to pick it up. It's totally free.
Wow, that's great. And we have some wonderful comments here. We have lovely people joining us from all across the globe, including the Philippines, including the US and beyond. So,
oh my gosh.
Thank you everybody for joining us. And Delby, best of luck.
Best of luck. Mabuhay.
Thank you. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.